Dr. Wayne Dyer, The Power of Intention. Chapter 2. The 7 Faces of Intention. Yesterday, while writing this book here on Maui, I experienced a knowing that I'll attempt to explain to you. A woman from Japan was pulled from the surf, her body bloated from an excessive intake of seawater. I knelt over her with others, attempting to get her heartbeat going with CPR, while many of her friends from Japan cried out in anguish as the futile attempts at resuscitation proceeded. Suddenly I felt a quiet awareness of this woman's spirit hovering above our life-saving attempts. As I watched the rescue scene on the beach, I felt the presence of blissfully peaceful energy, and in some unfathomable way, I knew that she was not going to be revived and that she was no longer connected to the body that so many well-meaning people, including myself, were trying to bring back to life. This quiet knowing led me to stand up, put my hands together, and say a silent prayer for her. We were from different parts of this world and did not even share a common language. Yet I felt connected to her. I felt peaceful with knowing that her spirit and mine were somehow connected in the mystery of the transient nature of our physical life. As I walked away, the pain of death was not dominating my thoughts. Instead, I knew and felt that the departure of this woman's spirit from what was now a lifeless, bloated body was inexplicably all a part of perfect divine order. I could not prove it. I had no scientific evidence. I didn't think it, I knew it. This is an example of what I mean by silent knowledge. I still feel her presence as I write this 24 hours later. In A Power of Silence, Carlos Castaneda describes silent knowledge as something that all of us have, something that has complete mastery, complete knowledge of everything. But it cannot think, therefore it cannot speak of what it knows. Man has given up silent knowledge for the world of reason. The more he clings to the world of reason, the more ephemeral intent becomes. Since intention is being presented in this book as an invisible energy field that is inherent in all physical form, intention then is a part of inexplicable, non-material world of spirit. Spirit eludes our attempts to explain and define it because it's a dimension beyond beginnings and ends, beyond boundaries, beyond symbols, and beyond form itself. Consequently, writing and spoken words are symbols for communicating our experiences in this world can't really explain spirit the way they do the physical world. I agree with Voltaire's statement at the beginning of this chapter and readily admit that I can't definitely teach anyone what spirit is or use words that gave a precise picture of what it looks like. What I can do is describe a way that I conceptualize intention if it were somehow possible to remove the veil that keeps this field of intention from our sensory perception and reasoning mind. I'll give you my concept of what I refer to as the 7 faces of intention. These points represent my imagined picture of what the power of intention looks like. Intention is something that I believe we can feel, connect with, know, and trust. It's an inner awareness that we explicitly feel and yet at the same time cannot truly describe with words. I use this concept to help guide me toward the power of intention that's the source of creation and activated in my daily life. It's my hope that you too will begin to recognize what you personally need to do to begin activating intention in your life. The descriptions that follow are distilled from my experience with master teachers, my professional work with others over the past 30 years, the veritable library of metaphysical books I read and studied, and my personal evolution. I am attempting to convey my personal knowing of the extraordinary benefits of linking to intention. Hopefully, you will feel inspired by the silent knowing of the power of intention and go on to create an increasingly enchanted experience for yourself and everyone else in your life. Silent knowledge starts when you invite the power of intention to play an active part in your life. This is a private and very personal choice that needn't be explained or defended. When you make this inner choice, silent knowledge will gradually become a part of your normal, everyday awareness. Opening the power of intention, you began knowing that conception, birth, and death are all natural aspects of the energy field of creation. Clinging to attempts to think or reason your way to intention is futile. By banishing doubt and trusting your intuitive feelings, you clear a space for the power of intention to flow through. This may sound like hocus pocus, but I prefer to think of it as emptying my mind and entering the heart of mystery. Here, I set aside rational thoughts and open to the magic and excitement of an illuminating new awareness. A great teacher in my life named J. Krishnamurti once observed, "To be empty, completely empty, it's not a fearsome thing. It is absolutely essential for the mind to be unoccupied, to be empty, unenforced, for then only can it move into unknown depths." Take a moment right now to put this book down and allow yourself to trust and gently experience an awareness of your non-physical self. First, close your eyes and empty your mind of rational thoughts and the multitudinous, ever-changing chatter that goes on. Next, hit the delete button every time doubt appears. Finally, open to the emptiness. Then you can begin to discover how to silently know the power of intention. But now, I will describe what I think our view might be if we could be outside of ourselves, floating above our body like the spirit of the Japanese lady on the beach yesterday. From this perspective, I imagine myself looking at the faces of intention through eyes that are capable of seeing higher vibrations. The 7 faces of intention. Number 1, the face of creativity. The first of 7 faces of intention is the creative expression of the power of intention that designed us, got us here, and created an environment that's compatible with our needs. The power of intention has to be creative or nothing would come into existence. It seems to me that this is an irrefutable truth about intention, spirit, because its purpose is to bring life into existence in suitable environment. Why do I conclude that the life-giving power of intention intends us to have a life and have it in increasing abundance? Because if the opposite were true, life as we know it couldn't come into form. The very fact that we can breathe and experience life is a proof to me that the nature of the life-giving spirit is creative and its core. This may seem obvious to you, or in fact, it may appear confusing or even irrelevant. But what is clear is, you are here in your physical body. There was a time when you were an embryo, before that a seed, and before that formless energy. That formless energy contained intention, which brought you from nowhere to now here. At the very highest levels of awareness, intention started you on a path toward your destiny. The face of creativity intends you toward continued creativity to create and co-create anything that you direct your power of intention toward. Creative energy is a part of you. It originates in the life-giving spirit that intends you. Number 2, the face of kindness. Any power that has, as its inherent nature, the need to create and convert energy into physical form must also be a kindly power. Again, I am deducing this form the opposite. If the all-giving power of intention had at its core the desire to be unkind, malevolent, or hurtful, then creation itself would be impossible. The moment unkind energy became form, the life-giving spirit will be destroyed. Instead, the power of intention has a face of kindness. It's a kind energy intending what it's creating to flourish and grow, and to be happy and fulfilled. Our existence is a proof to me of the kindness of intention. Choosing to be kind is a choice to have the power of intention active in your life. The positive effect of kindness on immune system and on increased production of serotonin in the brain has been proven in research studies. Serotonin is a naturally occurring substance in the body that makes us feel more comfortable, peaceful, and even blissful. In fact, the role of most antidepressants is to stimulate the production of serotonin chemically, helping us to ease depression. Research has shown that a simple act of kindness directed toward another improves the functioning of the immune system and stimulates the production of serotonin in both the recipient of the kindness and the person extending the kindness. Even more amazing is that the person observing the act of kindness has similar beneficial results. Imagine this. Kindness extended, received, or observed beneficially impacts the physical health and feelings of everyone involved. Both the face of kindness and the face of creativity are smiling here. When you're unkind, you're blocking the face of kindness. You're moving away from the power of intention. No matter whether you call it God, spirit, source, or intention, be aware that unkind thoughts waken and kind thoughts strengthen your connection. Creativity and kindness are 2 of the 7 faces of intention. Number 3, the face of love. The third of the 7 faces of intention is the face of love. That there is a life-giving nature inherent in the power of intention is an irrefutable conclusion. What would we name this quality that encourages, enhances, and supports all of life, if not love? It's the prime moving power of the universal spirit of intent. As Ralph Waldo Emerson put it, love is our highest word and the synonym for God. The energy field of intention is pure love, resulting in nurturing and totally cooperative environment. Judgment, anger, hate, fear, or prejudice won't thrive here. So we were able to actually see this field. We'd see creativity and kindness in an endless field of love. We entered the physical world of boundaries and beginnings through the universal force field of pure love. This force of intention that is an expression of love wishes only for us to flourish and grow and become all that we are capable of becoming. When we are not in harmony with energy of love, we are moved away from intention and weakened our ability to activate intention through the expression of love. For example, if you aren't doing what you love and loving what you do, your power of intention is weakened. You attract into your life more of dissatisfaction that isn't the face of love. Consequently, more of what you don't love will appear in your life. Thoughts and emotions are pure energy, some higher and faster than others. When higher energies occupy the same field as the lower energies, the lower energies convert to higher energies. A simple example of this is a darkened room that has a lower energy than a room bathed in light. Since light moves faster than non-light, when a candle is brought into a dark room, the darkness not only dissolves and disappears, but it seems magically converted into light. The same is true of love, which is a higher, faster energy than the energy of hate. St. Francis, in his famous prayer, beseeches God, Where there is a hatred, let me sow love. Where he is seeking is the power to dissolve and ultimately convert hate to the energy of love. Hate converts to love when the energy of love is in its presence. This is true for you too. Hate, direct toward yourself or others, can be converted to the life-giving, love-granting life force of intention. Pierre Teilhard de Chardin put it this way: the conclusion is always the same. Love is the most powerful and still the most unknown energy of the world. The face of beauty is number 4. The fourth of my 7 faces of intention is the face of beauty. What else could a creative, kind, and loving expression be other than beautiful? Why would the organizing intelligence of intention even elect to manifest into form anything that's repugnant to itself? Obviously, it wouldn't. So we can conclude that the nature of intention has an eternal interaction of love and beauty, and add the expression of beauty to the face of creative, kind, loving power of intention. John Keats, the brilliant young romantic poet, concludes his ode on aggration earned with, "Beauty is truth, truth beauty, that is all. Ye know on earth, and all ye need to know." Obviously, truth exists in the creation of everything. It's true that it shows up here in form. It's now here in a form that's an expression of the invisible creative power. So I agree with Keats that we need to silently know that truth and beauty are one and the same. Out of the truth of the originating spirit is an expression of the power of intention, comes through as beauty. The knowing leads to valuable insights in relation to exercise your individual will, imagination, and intuition. In order to grasp the significance of beauty as one of the faces of intention, remember this: beautiful thoughts build a beautiful soul. As you become receptive to seeing and feeling beauty around you, you're becoming attuned to creative power of intention within everything in the natural world, including yourself. By choosing to see beauty in everything, even a person who was born into poverty and ignorance will be able to experience the power of intention. Seeking beauty in the worst of circumstances with individual intent connects of the power of intention. It works. It has to work. The face of beauty is always present, even where others see non-beauty. I was deeply honored to be on a panel with Viktor Frankl in 1978 in Vienna, Austria. I strongly recollect that he shared with me and the audience his assertion that it's the ability to see beauty in all of life circumstances that gives our lives meaning. In his book, Man's Search for Meaning, he describes a bowl of filthy water with a fish head floating in it, given to him by his Nazi captors in a concentration camp during Second World War. He trained himself to see beauty in this meal, rather than focus on the horror of it. He attributed his ability to see beauty everywhere as a vital factor in surviving these horrific camps. He reminds us that if we focus on what's ugly, we attract more ugliness into our thoughts, and then into our emotions, and ultimately in our lives. By choosing to hang on the one's corner of freedom, even in the worst situations, we can process our world with the energy of appreciation and beauty, and create an opportunity to transcend our circumstances. I love the way Mother Teresa described this quality when she was asked, "What do you do every day in the streets of Calcutta at your mission?" She responded, "Every day I see Jesus Christ in all of his distressing disguises." Number 5, the face of expansion. The elemental nature of life is to increase and seek more and more expression. If we could sharply focus on the faces of intention, we'd be startled. I imagine that one of the faces we would see in continuously expanding expression of the power of intention. The nature of this creative spirit is always operating so as to expand. Spirit is a forming power. It has the principle of increase, meaning that life continues to expand toward more life. Life as we know it originates from formless intention. Therefore, one of the faces of intention looks like something that's internally evolving. It might look like a tiny speck in continuous state of duplicating itself, and then enlarging itself, and then moving forward, all the while continuing its expansion and expression. This is precisely what's happening in our physical world. This fifth phase of intention takes the form of what it's expressing it. It can be no other way, for if this ever-expanding force disliked itself or felt unconnected, it could only destroy itself. But it doesn't work that way. The power of intention manifests as an expression of expanding creativity, kindness, love, and beauty. By establishing your personal relation to this force of intention, you expand your life through the power of intention, which was, is, and always will be a component of this originating intention. The power of intention is the power to expand and increase all aspects of life, no exceptions. It's the nature of intention to be in a state of increased expression, so it's true for you too. The only proviso to this forward movement of intention is to cooperate with it everywhere and allow the spirit of increase to express itself through you and for everyone you encounter. Then you will have no worry or anxiety. Trust the phase of expansion and do what you do because you're loving what you do and doing what you love. Know that expansive, beneficial results are the only possibilities. Number 6. The phase of unlimited abundance. This sixth phase of intention is an expression of something that has no boundaries. It's everywhere at once, and it's endlessly abundant. It's not just huge, it never stops. This marvelous gift of abundance is what you were created from. Thus, you too share this in the expression of your life. You're actually fulfilling the love of abundance. These gifts are given freely and fully to you, just as the air, the sun, the water, and the atmosphere are provided in unlimited abundance for you. From the time of your earliest memories, you probably were taught to think in terms of limitations. My property starts here, yours over there. So we built fences to mark our boundaries. But ancient explorers gave us an awareness of the world as a potentially endless. Even more ancient astronomers pushed back our beliefs about an immense dome-shaped ceiling converting the Earth. We learned about galaxies that are measured in the distance light travels in a year. Science books that are only 2 years old are outdated. Athletic records that supposedly demonstrated the limits of our physical prowess are shattered with amazing regularity. What all this means is that there are no limits to our potential as a people, as collective entities, as individuals. This is largely true because we emanate from the unlimited abundance of intention. If the face of the power of intention is unlimited abundance, then we can know that our potential for manifestation and attracting anything into our life is the same. The face of abundance has absolutely no limits. Imagine the vastness of the resources from which all objects are created. Then consider the one resource that stands above all others. This would be your mind and the collective mind of humankind. Where does your mind begin and end? What are its boundaries? Where is it located? More important, where is not located? Is it born with you, or is it present before your conception? Does it die with you? What color is it? What shape? The answer are in the phrases unlimited abundance. You were created from this very same unlimited abundance. The power of intention is everywhere. It is what allows everything to manifest, to increase, and to supply infinitely. Know that you are connected to this life force and that you share it with everyone and all that you perceive to be missing. Open to the expression of the force of unlimited abundance and you'll be co-creating your life as you would like it to be. As it's so often true, the poets can express in a few short words what seems so difficult for us to grasp. Here is Walt Whitman speaking to us in A Song of Myself. As you read these lines, substitute the face of endless abundance for God to gain a flavor of what the power of intention is. I hear and behold God in every object, yet understand God not in the last. I see something of God each hour of the 24, and each moment then. In the faces of men and women I see God, and in my own face in the glass. I find letters from God dropped in the street, and every one is signed by God's name. And I leave them where they are, for I know that wherever I go, others will punctually come forever and ever. You don't have to have an intellectual understanding. It's enough to silently know and proceed to live with the awareness of this face of endless abundance. 7. The face of receptivity. This is how I imagine the seventh face, the receptive face of intention. It's simply receptive to all. No one and no thing is rejected by the receptive face of intention. It welcomes everyone and every living thing without judgment, never granting the power of intention to some and withholding it from others. The receptive face of intention means to me that all of nature is waiting to be called into action. We only need to be willing to recognize and receive. Intention can respond to you if you fail to recognize it. If you see chance and coincidence governing your life and the world, then the universal mind of intention will appear to you as nothing but an amalgamation of forces devoid of any order of power. Simply put, to be unreceptive is to deny yourself access to the power of intention. In order to utilize the all-inclusive receptivity of intention, you must produce within yourself an intelligence equal in infinity to the universal mind itself. You must not only become receptive to having a guidance available to you to manifest your human intentions, but you must be receptive to giving this energy back to the world. As I've said many times in speeches and earlier writings, your job is not to say how, it's to say yes. Yes, I am willing. Yes, I know that the power of intention is universal. It's denied to no one. The face of receptivity smiles on me, as what I need flows to me from the source, and the source is receptive to my tapping into its so-created books, speeches, videos, audios, and anything else that I have been fortunate enough to have on my resume. By being receptive, I'm in harmony with the power of intention of the universe, creative force. This works in so many different ways. You'll see the right people magically appearing in your life, your body healing, and if it's something that you want, you will even discover yourself becoming a better dancer, card player, or athlete. The field of intention allows everything to emanate into form, and its unlimited potential is built into all that has manifested even before its initial birth pangs were being expressed. In this chapter, you read about my concept of the 7 faces of intention. They are creative, kind, loving, beautiful, ever-expanding, endlessly abundant, and receptive to all, and you can connect to this alluring field of intention. Here are 5 suggestions you can implement now to put into practice the essential messages in this chapter. 5 suggestions for implementing the ideas in this chapter. Number 1. Visualize the power of intention. Invite your visualization of the field of energy, which is the power of intention, to appear in your mind. Be receptive to what appears as you visualize your concept of this field of energy. Even though you know it's invisible, close your eyes and see what images you receive. Recite the 7 words that represents the 7 faces of intention: creative, kind, loving, beautiful, expanding, abundant, and receptive. Memorize these 7 words and use them to bring you to harmony with the power of intention as you visualize it. Remind yourself that when you feel or behave inconsistently with these 7 faces of intention, you've disconnected from the power of intention. Allow the 7 words to decorate your visualization of the power of intention and notice the shift in your perspective as you regain your connection to it. Number 2, be reflective. A mirror reflects without distortion or judgment. Consider being like a mirror and reflect what comes into your life without judgment or opinions. Be unattached to all who came into your life, but not demanding that they stay, go, or appear at your whim. Discontinue judging yourself or others for being too fat, too tall, too ugly, too anything. Just as the power of intention accepts and reflects you without judgment or attachment, try to be the same with what appears in your life. Be like a mirror. Number 3, expect beauty. This suggestion includes expecting kindness and love along with beauty to be in your life. Be deeply loving yourself, your surroundings, and by showing reverence for all of life. There is always something beautiful to be experienced, wherever you are. Right now, look around you and select beauty as you focus. This is so different from habitually being alert for ways to feel hurt, angry, or offended. Expecting beauty helps you perceive the power of intention in your life. Number 4, meditate and appreciation. Cherish the energy that you share with all loving beings now and in the future, and even those that have lived before you. Feel the surge of the life force that allows you to think, sleep, move about, digest, and even meditate. The power of intention responds to your appreciation of it. The life force that's in your body is a key to what you desire. As you appreciate your life force as a representative of the power of intention, a wave of determination and knowing surges through you. The wisdom of your soul as it responds to your meditation on appreciation assumes command and knows every step that must be taken. Number 5, banish doubt. When doubt is banished, abundance flourishes and anything is possible. We all tend to use our thoughts to create the world we choose. If you doubt your ability to create the life you intend, then you're refusing the power of intention. Even when nothing seems to indicate that you are accomplishing what you desire in your life, refuse to entertain a doubt. Remember, the trolley strap of intention is waiting for you to float up and be carried along. Shakespeare declared, "Our doubts are traitors, and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt." And Ramana Maharshi observed, "Doubts arise because of an absence of surrender." You may well choose to doubt when others say to you or what you experience with your senses, but banish doubt when it comes to knowing that a universal force of intention designed you and got you here. Don't doubt your creation from a field of energy that's always available to you. End of chapter 2.